Florida and Georgia meeting for the 82nd time in Jacksonville. It's cold and windy here, but Florida head coach Will Muschamp is feeling the heat. His team 3-3 for the year, but they're coming off a miserable loss to Missouri on homecoming day. That's led to a quarterback change. Freshman Treon Harris gets his first start in his first year, replacing an ineffective Jeff Driscoll. Mark Richt is in his 14th season at Georgia, 6-1 this year, leading the East. They have won their last two. Nick Chubb, another freshman, has filled in brilliantly for the suspended Todd Gurley. We're in Jacksonville, and we're not that far from the Florida-Georgia line.
Let me tell you about my life. It's filled with dreams. Work hard, play hard. I know you're feeling me. FGL up in the SEC. Riding shotgun, got my dog next to me. And you know we going big like every week. And you know we going feel like every seat. No, we don't do it for the fame. We do it for the rain. We do it for the love of the game. Come on. When the sun comes up, we party down. We run that rock until all down. Everybody in the crowd showing love, singing hey. That's what's up. Shotgun it up, pass it around. You know these boys gon' love it now. The game in the rain, getting cold in blood. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up.
Florida versus Georgia.
Game on.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Sonic. The Home Depot. Progressive. And by Bud Light. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS on a blustery Saturday afternoon. It's the Florida Gators, 3-3 for the year, but losers to Missouri last week during homecoming in Gainesville. They take on a team that has won its last 5, the Bulldogs of Georgia. Well, we spent a lot of time talking this year about the West. Take a look at the SEC East standings that show the Bulldogs on top, 4-1. Missouri trailing by a half game, but they've lost to Georgia earlier. Kentucky, Florida follow, a very significant game for particularly the Florida Gators with all the so-called noise in the system, a phrase we haven't heard in about 10 years. But they need a win for Will Muschamp and for the Florida program. And first on the field, the Gators of Florida. And a rather dispirited welcome, one might say, as they come on the field. Not the case for the Bulldogs of Georgia. One loss on the year. That was game 2 for the season. They lost at South Carolina. Had a chance to win it, but did not, losing 38-35. Hi once again, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Welcome to Jacksonville. Interesting, we began the conversation talking about Todd Gurley, who will not play, suspended. Jeff Driscoll, who may or may not play, replaced at quarterback.
Every story I did about both of these teams prior to the season, I keyed in on Todd Gurley and Jeff Driscoll. I thought they were the key to the team. Well, Georgia has managed. Now we'll see about Florida. It's been so bad for Jeff Driscoll that they really had to make a change.
Well, let's go down on the field to Allie the Force, who is with beleaguered coach Will Muschamp.
Coach, with all of the recent negativity surrounding your program and your future in it, how much pressure are you and the team feeling to win today?
Absolutely none. This is about Florida, Georgia. It's one of the great rivalries in all college football.
This week you made a big decision to start true freshman Treon Harris over season-long starter Jeff Driscoll. Why'd you make the change?
Well, we needed a spark offensively. Number one, we need to take care of the football.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck.
And that leads me back to my partner.
Yeah, take care of the football. I mean, if you look at these two teams, they're almost mirror images. That's why I brought the football spell out. Teams playing against Georgia the last two weeks have had 9 turnovers against Georgia. Florida dropped the ball when they ran it, when they passed it, when they snapped it. They did everything. You got to hold on to that ball. That's what both teams want to do. And the other thing, the last 8 teams to win have rushed that ball more than the other team. I think that's the key to the game.
Want to see my stiff arm?
Do not drop that ball.
Hang on to it. While you talk about the change at quarterback.
Yeah, I think you got to. I think the word that Will used, spark, he had to do it. I think even for Jeff Driscoll, he needed to step back and get away from it. We really don't know what Treon Harris is going to do. I mean, he's not a power running at quarterback. He doesn't have really a big arm, but he's very anticipatory. He's a winner. He's very calm. And I think the football team needed to see something different from Will Muschamp and that quarterback position.
And on the other side of the ball, they have a very proud and very effective defensive unit.
And they got to win a football game for Florida. I mean, they got to step up and put Florida in a position, and they've got 3 levels of playmakers. Dante Fowler is going to be playing football for a long time. At the linebacker position, Antonio Morrison is a playmaker as well. And in the back, we all love Vernon Hargraves. 3 guys that can make those key plays for Florida to help out that offense.
Todd Gurley sat out the last 2 suspended for being paid for autographs. I've still got it. No, I learned. I'm old, but I learned. Nick Chubb has come on and just played marvelously well.
He really has. I mean, a guy to step in as a true freshman like that, to go out there and take a football team. And you know what's really happened is I think everybody on this Georgia team has played better. They stepped up their game, but I think it's going to have to be even better today to beat Florida.
And now we take you to First on the Field, presented by Microsoft Surface. And First on the Field today involves the weather. Front blew through. The key is the wind, 20 to 25 miles an hour. It seems like the wind chill factor's in the 30s. I stepped out of the hotel today and thought we were in Madison, Wisconsin. We were doing a Big Ten game.
Exactly.
And, of course, the series note, there's one game that is still in dispute, a game played in Macon in 04. Georgia says they won that. Florida said we didn't start our program until 06. Georgia has won the last 3 after Florida had won 18 of the previous 21. Most of that streak, 13-1, as a matter of fact, from 90 to 01 with Steve Spurrier as the coach.
And for all you followers out there, Vern is still holding on to that football up here.
It may hatch before it's over.
If Will could get you out there, he'd be happy right now.
Florida won the toss. They deferred. And Georgia will get the football to open the game. Austin Hardin will kick off. And, boy, this wind, Gary, is going to affect the kicking game in, I don't know what way.
Well, we'll find out. But I think the key part of this football game is really both coaches. I talked to Mark Bricht on the field, and we talked to Will, okay? They say turnovers. Hold on to the ball, especially in this kind of windy conditions.
Here's Austin Hardin. Isaiah McKenzie is deep. He will bring it out. Not quite to the 20. Valdez Showers. I knew he was going to move. Hudson Mason has improved as the season has progressed.
Well, you know, he just takes care of the football. He knows his job. They've got a good running game. They've got a solid rush defense. They rush the passer, and he knows if he can avoid the turnover, and he's doing a great job of it, that his football team has a great chance of winning.
He replaces the graduated Aaron Murray. Waited a long time for his chance, and his team is 6-1. Up the middle to Chubb. And the remainder of the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Theus, hometown, he's from Jacksonville. David Andrews, a senior. Quavon Hicks has had a very impressive contribution to the offense this year. And Chris Conley, the veteran, he is out of the wideout. And this is Nick Chubb again. First down 10.
Talking to Mike Bobo over the years, he's always believed that it's easier to run the football against Florida from the spread rather than two backs and a tight end. And he's starting out exactly the way he believes.
There's Mason with the fake, and he gets it inside. Malcolm Mitchell back in the lineup. This is only the fourth game in which he has participated in 2 years because of injuries.
Well, this is one of those plays that could be either a give or a keep.
Left side, Chubb again. And he breaks the first contact.
We were all ready to go to a replay for you all.
Yeah.
They hurry up and snap it on us.
And it looks like they're going to try and get it done again.
Let's see, this time they substituted in, so Florida will be able to substitute. The officials will hold them back.
And let's see if Mason does go under center. He will. They go to the right. Chubb again.
Vern was talking about Malcolm Mitchell. He's only caught 8 passes on the year. But when you run the ball from the spread, you better show the defense that you're willing to throw the ball off of that action, or they won't respect it, and they'll crowd that box. Good call from Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, and great execution.
3rd and 2. Clavon Hicks leads the way, then flip out to Hicks, and it's short. There was pressure that affected the quality of the throw. Dante Fowler got there.
One of the base plays from this Florida offense is off tackle and then dump it to the fullback. If you watch the LSU tape against Florida, they hit that play about 5 times, the same exact play when LSU was running the ball against Florida. Great stop and obviously a poor pass.
Adam Erickson, the so-called pooch punter for Georgia. So he is on to send it inside the 20, which he does. Vernon Hargraves with the fair catch. 35-yard punt. That's very effective. 14th season for Mark Richt. 4th season for Will Muschamp. .12:51 opening quarter. Georgia gave it up to Florida, and it's time now. Oh, we got to hurry him up. For the starting lineups, and here is Treon Harris, freshman out of Miami, about to take his 79th snap, but his first ever as a starter.
And with a game plan designed for him.
5'11", 190. And they run the sweep to the left side. Matt Jones, number 24, Leonard Floyd, makes the tackle. Jeff Driscoll, broken ankle, 3rd game last year. He's somewhere behind the down marker. And has started every game this season, but had a woeful appearance against Missouri.
By the way, not just him.
Yeah, good point. Special teams were atrocious. 2nd and 5. Jones. And the remainder of the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Humphreys, Thurman, Garcia transferred from Maryland. He played 1 full season as a starter there. And DeMarcus Robinson, you think it's a potential all-star?
I think he could be a star right now if they had the pass offense to meet his skills. He makes a few mistakes, but, you know, everybody does. And inside, Trenton Brown right there, the right guard. Or left guard, I think it is, isn't it? Right off the top of my head.
In our case, they flip them.
Yep, they do. Yes. There he is on the right side, right there. He just looks like it just gives out on him while he's blocking. Nobody fell on him at all.
Well, medical attention paid to Brown, and we'll step away. Trenton Brown grimacing in pain as they take his knee brace off. And let's take a look to introduce you to the Georgia defense, particularly Floyd. Ray Drew is back in the lineup. Last time we saw this team, He was not a starter. Damian Swan has been a starter all year.
The strategy with Jeff Driscoll was to run power with the quarterback. We might see a change in strategy with this quarterback.
32. Harris being chased. Lets it go, and it's... Now, did he have control?
I thought he caught it.
No, they say...
I think Robinson thinks he caught it. He said, I think he caught it. Now, was his foot in bounds? Caught it. Does he have it? Left foot goes out.
Yep.
Left foot, a toe on the line. Yep. But you saw a little different style. Roll the quarterback. We got telling you, if Jeff Driscoll was in there, it would have been quarterback power.
That'll bring on Kyle Christie, senior punter. And Reggie Davis is back to return it. It's short. And they're going to get a wonderful Florida roll out of this. Now let's check in with the agenda for tomorrow. Doubleheader, San Diego at Miami, followed by Denver at New England. Those are the two key games, early and late. The NFL all begins with the NFL Today, powered by Southwest Airlines. JB in the group from our New York studios. Second possession now for Georgia. First down, 10 from the 15. That was a 59-yard punt.
And I think a lot of it was by design. They really wanted to kick that ball loaded, Christie, and let it roll.
Nick Chubb will get the toss. They fake the reverse. Todd with a stiff arm. And that should be enough to move the chain. John Theus, as we mentioned, playing in his hometown with the key block.
Well, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that a true freshman would have more carries than Todd Gurley, I would say Georgia would be in big trouble. But they've maintained their composure. Now, they've been helped by turnovers early in the game the last 2 weeks. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Chubb again with running room. Well, Todd Gurley is much larger than Nick Chubb. He's 6'1", 232, 5'10", 215. But look at the numbers now. Gurley was on his way to a Heisman consideration
right
until he got suspended.
Yeah, and when he put those 208 yards against Tennessee, everybody thought that was the horse for the rest of the year. But adjusting, and they've got 2 more games. This one and 1 more before Gurley could play again.
They will get Gurley back for the Auburn game. Here's a play fake. Mason lobs it, short man, and it's dropped by Chubb. Mentioned at the beginning of the program that Florida's defense has acquitted themselves quite well. Dante Fowler is a good one. Neron Ball missed an entire season in 2011, back and one of the keys as a senior linebacker. Second down, 10. Antonio Morrison with the tackle of Chubb. Well, take a look now. The Todd Gurley suspension by the NCAA, suspended for a total of 4 games. He can return against Auburn. He must repay a portion of the money and perform 40 hours of community service. I had a chance to talk with Greg McGarity, the athletic director, and he said, we have to have a plan in place for the community service. It must be performed before the end of the regular season. Screen pass. Oh, wow.
Now, what a great call by the Georgia offense. They knew that this Florida defense is primed to help the offense, trying to make a big play. They've been sacking the opponents, 4 against Missouri, 6 against LSU, 4 against LSU, 6 against Missouri, and they knew they would pin their ears back, and they had the perfect call.
Gain of 17, and Brandon Douglas is in, number 22. They've also, Keith Marshall, who, remember as freshman, he and Gurley were roommates, good friends, and he's only played 3 games this year with an injury. Sony Michel, another freshman. Oh, we've got a David Andrews, the senior center, is down.
And that's the brains of that outfit for Georgia. one that all Georgia fans are hoping is not a serious injury. That's a tough man. Just played a lot of football for Georgia.
35th straight start for David Andrews. Hunter Long is the backup. Likewise a senior. And here's Andrews. He's going to need some help to get over to the sideline.
There he is right there. Snapped the ball. Did he get kicked? Yes, he got kicked by his own guard. I think Greg Pike, as he pulls and comes around, kicks him in the ankle. As his foot is planted, he gets kicked from the side.
So here's Hunter Long. Cublano and Pike on either side at guards, and Brendan Douglas still on the field. Second down, 11. Mason. Nice. That's Jeb Blazevich. Starting his 6th straight game. He's a freshman, tight end.
Yeah, a true freshman. That was one of the positions that they needed help on. They lost Artie Lynch from a year ago, and Blazevich, a true freshman, comes in up-tempo on short yardage, and they get the first down.
Indeed, Douglas gets it. Here's Fowler. And he is there with Leon Orr, number 8. Appeared as if Orr might have been just a little in front of Fowler at the arrival. Nick Chubb is back in. He's carried in his last 2 starts 30 times, 38 times. They ride him this time, and he slips the tackle, and here he goes. Touchdown, Georgia.
Move. Watch the jump cut right at the beginning. I think he beats ball, jumps out of the play, right out of the tackle, and he does not go down easy. An arm tackle, and he runs through it by Gorman. What a run.
And another player down for Florida.
An unteachable skill. I mean, that's one of those things where, you could have 4 or 5 years of college experience, or you could just bring it with you. And Nick Chubb brought it with him.
Keanu Neal is the injured player.
And the playmaking safeties.
Yes.
For this football team.
Marshall Morgan is on for the extra point. A 39-yard run. Nick Chubb. Eight carries, 76 yards, and that on only the 2nd Georgia possession. 7-zip Bulldogs. Nothing on Nick Chubb's 39-yard run, and it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
Sometimes just doing your job has benefits. When you play man-to-man coverage, if the receiver, and it's Michael Bennett this time, comes inside to block, watch how his block takes 2 guys. One guy's playing man-to-man, he gets a block on the safety inside, so 1 equals 2. Now inside, yes, Nick Chubb had to make the first guy miss, but just by style of defense, it allowed a maybe 8-yard carry to turn into a touchdown carry.
So he gets a well-earned rest. Marshall Morgan is on to kick off, but the wind affects that. Andre DeBose is one of the deep men. There are 2 back. DeBose wearing number 4. Ryan Parrish is back with him.
You know, Vern, you were talking about the wind conditions. It's unusual in this stadium. See the flag in the right end zone to our right up here from the booth. When the kickers were telling me on the field that you go opposite the flag. When the flag is going left, the wind is actually going right. That tip was from Josh Scobie, the kicker from Jacksonville. He told it to Caleb Sturgis, an old Florida kicker in the offseason. He said, next time you come and kick in the Florida-Georgia game, just remember, go opposite the American flag.
No wonder you go down on the field. That's a nice nugget. Harris, a little too high. Intended for Fullwood. Leonard Floyd with the chase. Ahmad Fullwood getting the start. Quentin Dunbar, who'd been a long-time starter for Will Muschamp, was benched last week after he had drops in 3 consecutive games. So the guy who wears number 1 for the Gators might not get on the field for the second week in a row. Second down and 10. Actually, 2 out of the last 3 weeks they were open. Kelvin Taylor.
This Georgia defense has been producing turnovers. The last 2 games, both wins. At halftime, it was 20-0 against Missouri. They had 4 turnovers in the first half, and 38-6 Arkansas. 3 of the 4 turnovers by Arkansas were also in the first half. That's why they've been able to control the football game, the defense, producing turnovers.
Deep left side, good coverage. And it's intended for DeMarcus Robinson, incomplete. You've noticed, I'm sure by now, that Florida wearing its home blue and Georgia wearing its home red. This is Georgia's home game. The Gators had to ask permission of Georgia and the SEC. It was granted by both. So this is somewhat unusual. It's been a long time since they both wore home unis in this game. Kyle Christie. I know how long ago it was, but I'm going to withhold the information.
I'm smelling something. I'm smelling something.
Little struggle at the 25. 7-0. It's been a Nick Chubb kind of afternoon so far. Prior to this afternoon, the last time both Florida and Georgia wore their home jerseys against each other, 1970. John Reeves threw a touchdown pass to Carlos Alvarez to help Florida to a 24-17 win on that day. And that is going to lead us to the duck, I think. Yeah. I knew the Aflac duck was going to come up. Here's the trivia question. When was the last time? Well, you know the last time. It was 1970. Here's the key. Who were the head coaches in that game? Aflac trivia question. 1970. Head coach Florida, head coach Georgia. I think Georgia's a little easier.
Yes. Hunter Long still in at center. No David Andrews.
Left, Chubb. And let's check in with Allie LaForce for an injury update. Allie?
We have quite a few for you, Vern. Florida's offensive lineman Trenton Brown had a right knee injury. They put a knee brace underneath his bigger knee brace. That way he could have a little more support. He was in a lot of pain, but he is up and on the sidelines. They're hoping to get him back into the game. Now, as for Keanu Neal, he had a lower right leg injury. Unsure exactly what it is, but they put him on crutches, and they will be taking him back to the locker room. In fact, they are doing that right now. For Georgia, David Andrews was injured. It was his left calf. It was a leg injury. He got down in his stance, though, after they taped him up, and it only took 2 times before he knew, hey, I'm good to go, guys. Put me back in there.
There he is, 61.
And there he is,
yep.
Yeah. Tough old bird.
I told you.
Conley in motion on 3rd and 1. Chubb got it, plus. 1st and 10 Georgia.
Just a little bit of perspective here. You know, both of these teams handle this, as you watch this run, handle this run about the same. Georgia's giving up 3 yards per carry. Florida's giving up 3.1, but you can see this Georgia team just better at it. Just further along.
Chubb already over 100. And they'll give it to him again. What's the difference, Gary, in the style of Gurley and Chubb?
Well, Gurley has the home run ability. I mean, it's hard to say that after watching Chubb run that last one. But the top-end speed, Chubb does not have Gurley's top-end speed. Talking to Mark Richt, though, he said that they'll both play in the NFL. Remember that? He said
Yes.
they both will play. He knows running backs, too, here at Georgia.
Play action. Mason on target. Michael Bennett, who is a senior. By the way, this Georgia team has fumbled 1 time. They've lost 1. They've fumbled 8 times and lost 1. The guy who fumbled it was number 82, Michael Bennett, in the first quarter of the first game against Clemson. They have really protected the football.
Big stop by that Florida defense that time. They timed it up. The up-tempo didn't bother them at all. They had the right call on. Kudos to that Will Muschamp, DJ Durkin defense. He had them ready to go. You can see it timed up beautifully by Ball and then cleaned up by Morrison.
And that's going to bring Adam Erickson on.
Boy, Andrews is really limping going on and off the field. He's being a warrior, but I don't know if he's helping his football team right now being out there. I see Mark Richt talking to him. I wonder if he will come back out if he has to play at that level.
Vernon Hargraves is deep for the Gators now after a 3-and-out. 5:06. And here's Erickson. This is only his 7th punt of the year. Whoa.
That was the win.
Yes.
See, it took him away from him. The wind took that ball right away from Hargraves, and he misjudged it. The flag goes to the left. The ball's going to drift to his right. Misjudges it. He's fortunate that it. Hey, how about that? Quick feet, huh?
Yeah. Vernon Hargraves' impression of a little Mikhail Baryshnikov.
That was beautiful. Well, it has been no offense so far for this for this Florida offense. They have not been able to find anything so far. And remember, unless they, I think, open it up in the passing game, they're going to have a tough time running it because it's 8-man fronts against them.
2 3-and-outs so far. This is Matt Jones going left. And he gets a nice chunk of yardage. Harris throwing the football 0 for 3. Treon Harris verbally committed to Florida State summer of 2013 and then quite obviously changed his mind. Decommitted and came here. His dad was a high school football coach, Booker T. Washington, back-to-back state titles during his time there. His brother is the head coach there now. Right side, Jones. And not much. As we said, he's 5'11", one of 6 siblings. His brother Brandon is a cornerback for the Tennessee Titans. And his father has now gone to Miami as the running back coach. His older brother, Tim Jr.
Florida has not converted a 3rd down. They're 0 for 2.
3rd and 2 here. 3 wide to the left side, 1 wide right. Quarterback draw. 1st down. Plus. Max Garcia with the clearing block.
You know, sometimes you just need a change for a change. I mean, obviously Jeff Driscoll could have ran that quarterback draw, but the team needed a change. They needed to see somebody else back there and making some plays just so they could get hopped up again and get fired up again.
No, Muschamp told Allie we needed a spark.
Yep.
It's been very dispirited among the boosters, the fans. In that loss, here's Jeff Driscoll, as we said, broken ankle in game 3 last year. such high hopes when he began his career.
Yeah, that Matt Jones run right there, that's that power run that he can bring to the table for Florida that they need so dearly.
Corner blitz.
He dropped it, didn't he? Here we go.
Yes, he did. It's another Florida fumble.
You could, I'll tell you what, when they had that dropped pass against LSU, Florida did, and that opening kickoff against Missouri, you could almost see the air go out of the football team. And here they go again. Starting the football game, that is a self-inflicted wound. Georgia had nothing to do with it. That's two players that haven't had enough reps together, and they did not have the mesh point down. That is really tough to overcome playing a good football team, and Georgia's been the beneficiary of it.
Georgia now 14 to the plus side turnovers this year. At second, last time when they won the national title, they were plus 23. Here's Mason.
I think this was a bust, to tell you the truth.
Now let's go back to the studio for a Ford update. Here's Adam Zucker.
Hey, Vern, Georgia fans rooting for West Virginia to knock off one of the one-loss teams ahead of the Dogs. The Mountaineers had a 13-0 lead on number 7 TCU, but Trevon Boykin to Deontay Gray. Open pastures. Still 13-7 Mountaineers, though. Back to you guys.
All right, Adam, thank you. It's 7-0 here, and the Florida turnover woes continue on that mix-up on the handoff. Second down, 7. Fullback is in, Quavon Hicks.
And Hunter Long is back in at center.
This time, nothing doing for Chubb. That's Brendan Douglas. Joey Ivy, number 91, first man there.
One of the things that really makes this Florida defense go is when they penetrate. When they get into the backfield, they're very quick up front, and they take gaps. They're not a two-gap. And what I mean by that, they don't just take on their offensive linemen and peek around and try to make the play. They try to get up and into the backfield to disrupt.
3rd and 9. Mason, a lot of time. Across the middle, caught. Reggie Davis, number 81.
I told you about this intermediate passing game. Get to that second level, 12 to 18 yards deep. A lot of short passes, a lot of deep passes, but it's those intermediate passes that really make an offense go.
Reggie Davis, now a sophomore. His first catch went for 98 yards against North Texas. As a freshman, he caught that from Aaron Murray. And here's the handoff. It goes to Chubb, who's back on the field. That was an 18-yard gain. On 3rd and 9, John Bullard with that tackle. Second and 4. Mason in trouble. John Bullard with the pressure. Well, ducks back. Aflac. Trivia question. Who were the head coaches the last time they both wore their home uniforms? Doug Dickey for Florida and Vince Dooley for Georgia. 1977.
Well, it's another big challenge for this Florida defense. What do? Do they bring the house? Do they bring a blitz? Does not appear that they will. Looks like a 4-man rush.
Fowler currently up. Stays upright. And he drops. Bennett short.
Well, everybody, I got to tell you, if Georgia would have made a first down there with the 3-man rush, every Florida person who follows the game and has a Twitter account would have been on that with their thumbs talking about the poor 3-man rush, prevent defense, but it was the perfect call at the right time.
And that brings on Marshall Morgan, who earlier this year completed a string of 20 in a row And he then missed his next one. That was a potential tying field goal in the game at South Carolina. For the year, 8 for 10 with a long of 47. This from 39. And he's got to battle the wind, which he does successfully.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it blew out that wind. Remember, the wind's going from right to left. It's coming towards our booth, and I think it blew it out. Watch it just to the left. Sure looks good, doesn't it, from here? It was, I saw the, I just peeked. I saw the guy going like this, no good from underneath.
Well, from that angle.
Yep, I'm going to tell you, they're not going to change it. See the two officials down there. One of them was signaling good, one was signaling no good.
Yeah, the call stands. Fascinating. The end of the first, 7-0 will return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. Marshall Morgan confused, a little disappointed, no doubt. The wind caught this one and blew it wide left.
And when it's halfway there, you go, there's no way. But it was hooking and it was blowing. And I think depth perception-wise, you could tell, remember, it was checked with the truck checked with Birmingham. Birmingham checked with Steve Shaw, commissioner of all things good and known. It's not reviewable if it goes over the top of the goalpost. Yep.
And so, still 7-0.
Big stop by that Florida defense. And remember that there's a very interesting three-man rush on third down.
Punt, and fumble. Not what you want to hear if you're a Florida fan and you're looking at your offense. This is Matt Jones again. And they really...
Yeah, I like to turn around and hand the ball off type stuff. I think that's the way they need to do it.
Kelvin Taylor instead of Matt Jones. They slipped him in there.
Yeah.
Well, offensively, they remain challenged.
Well, I thought Florida needed to get to halftime without any turnovers, just for their own psyche. Now, they turned it over, but they survived it. They need to keep in this football game to the second half, and Georgia wants to put them away early because they know that, you know, over there on that sideline, they're not feeling good about themselves. So if they could put them away early, they won't have to, you know, these things have dragged out at the end of these games the last 3 years. Remember this?
Oh, yes.
It's been end of the game, just one play after another.
Offensive guard was shaken up on the last play. Or tackle. DJ Humphries. This is Taylor again, second carry to the right side.
Well, the dilemma for Kurt Roper, the offensive coordinator for Florida, is he knows he has to be a bit conservative because he knows that the turnovers have really cost his team. But he says, I can't be too conservative or I won't beat this good Georgia defense. If I go too simple, they'll stone us.
2nd and 5, and Taylor gets the carry again. Well, Kurt Roper came over here from Duke. They continue their excellent play under David Cutcliffe. Roper is the 3rd offensive coordinator hired by Will Muschamp. First was Charlie Weiss, then Brent Pease out of Boise State. Hauled down from behind is Taylor, and now Kurt Roper.
Yeah, but, you know, positive yards. The way I'd do it if I was Kurt Roper, and he knows more than I do, he's been in it a long time, is I would make it look like I was running the zone read, but I would call it. I would want everybody to know what the play is before it happens. I'd get rid of those read plays with a young quarterback in a big game like this.
Tevin Westbrook, number 87, tight end in motion. Taylor goes right, caught and dropped. Well, we pounding this theme, but it's so prominent in any dissection of Florida under Muschamp. 105th, 103rd, 113th, and this year they've improved all the way to 96th.
Two of those years were a little snake bit with injuries at quarterback, 11 and 13. But 2002, they kind of rode a defense to 11 wins. And this year, just too many dropped everything. I mean, I don't know how you turn on the tape and they're dropping easy throws, they're dropping snaps, they're dropping handoffs. They wanted so badly to play a clean game and then just take whatever happens. You know, Vern, you talked about Marcus Robinson, getting that guy involved. He's the one mismatch on this football team. If they could get this guy involved.
See what they do on 3rd and 8. They flip it left side to Jones. He's got a block and a first down. Ahmad Fullwood leading the way, number 5. And that's a gain of 12.
Well, remember in this game, I handed you the ball in the open.
I haven't dropped it yet.
And the number 1 was rush the ball. They've been averaging against Georgia the last 3 years 67 yards a game. Okay, they've already got it over 70 yards, so that's a start.
Matt Jones.
And that eventually will make it a lot easier for number 3, the quarterback, to pull it down and make that easier, not easy, but easier throw.
Harris 1 of 4 for 12 yards. 2nd down, 8. Jump, flag. Harris chased. There was Leonard Floyd, who appeared to encroach. Again, Hubert Owens is the referee today.
Offside. Defense, number 84. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot to 2nd down.
Vern called it right. Just a little bit of anxiety from number 84, the outside mismatch. Basically mismatch, as you could see that Florida was turning their protection, plus keeping a back in there to help the offensive tackle.
And so 2nd down and 4. They give it to Jones. He slams it over the opening between center and right guard. He comes up short of the first down. 7-zip. And the touchdown, a run from Nick Chubb of 39 yards. 3rd and 1.
Florida, it would be 3rd and 1 with the idea of it being 4th and 1 if it had to be. Because I am not even going to try the field goal here. I'm going for it.
Right. First down, Matt Jones to the 23-yard line.
Well, if you're a Florida football fan and you're watching the offensive line mash a little bit and make some plays, Trip Thurman that time, number 63, with a good second-level block, you're loving it. And I'm telling you, the Florida football team this year would love to slow this thing down, make it a very calm football game, run it, and get it into the 4th quarter.
This is the 11th play of the current drive.
Whoa.
Oh, gracious.
Can he throw it away? Can he throw it away?
I don't think it crossed his mind.
He could have thrown that ball away and got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yes, sir. Put that one on Max Garcia, the center.
So now a real nice drive. 1st and 10 is 2nd and what, about 20, I guess, right?
22.
Yeah, that's about 20 for me. Anything over 10 is bad.
Harris cuts inside, and he doesn't get much. Toby Johnson, number 88, was there.
Toby Johnson does an inside defensive tackle, gets pushed to the outside, and then just grabs on and holds on. Now, how can Florida get this ball into position to attempt a field goal? Remember, when Georgia needed a big play in a passing yard, they went to the screen pass. Maybe a wide receiver zip, tunnel screen to the outside, something to take the pressure off your quarterback and your offensive line.
DeMarcus Robinson, top of the screen. Press coverage on him. Jones goes right.
That's exactly the call. Something a little different to take the pressure off your quarterback. You don't need an egregious mistake right here early in this football game where Florida gets down on themselves.
Jones coming right. They are going to send the field goal unit on. Frankie Velez, a senior. His career long is 44.
About the same spot we just saw, didn't we?
39. He's 8 of 9 for the year. They fake it, and they go right. And they have a touchdown from Michael McNeely, the holder.
Well, you got to manufacture some offense. And Will Muschamp dialed one up this time. Mark Richt has seen it all in this game. He's produced some of it, and he's seen some of it.
Quite true. McNeely. Redshirt senior wide receiver and a holder on that one.
Well, it was Burton and Westbrook, number 88 and number 77, that got the key blocks.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. We'll redo the try.
Well, you can see the whole thing fit together. Call the running play, get it into position to kick a field goal, and then take advantage of block out over here, and then the other tight end comes across to kick out. Beautifully done. Everybody gets their block. 2 key ones from the 2 tight ends, and a little sprint to the end zone. Nice call. Couldn't have it any better, Vern, if you were Florida. 14-play drive. You keep the ball away from Georgia, and you feel good about yourself.
That may be the most important. Here's McNeely from Clearwater, a 5'8", 176-pound backup wide receiver. We are back in Jacksonville, and Hubert Owens just might have pulled a muscle on a play about 3 or 4 plays ago. He is putting on the warm-up, and on your left is Matt Moore, the backup official. We had a similar circumstance a couple of weeks ago when Matt Austin went out. So Matt Moore, one of the veteran referees in the league.
Just a question as we look. We're trying to find it if we can see it. Boy, this is kind of interesting. Left side of the screen, he's sprinting.
There you see him pull up.
Yep, there he grabs it, right hammy. And he went from the white hat to the black hat very fast. Look at that. Does he carry a spare hat?
That's a question for Steve Shaw in Birmingham.
Very quickly just took the white one off. I don't think, do they swap hats? Just curious.
This is a silly question, superficial, but do you suppose they can all wear the same size hat?
Might be stretchy.
Yeah, I know it. It is officially a pulled hamstring. That is from John Bible, our replay official today.
Most likely will not return, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. And so it takes a little time to get all the wires connected. The CBS Sports app now has the fastest scores. Download it today and be the first to get updates and scores for Florida, Georgia, or your team right on your phone. Looks pleasant, quite blustery. And here is Matt Moore.
You know, I'm from Michigan, and I heard it snowed for Halloween, so nobody up there is feeling sorry for us right here. I can tell you that right now.
No. Austin Harden will kick off. How about Michael McNeely with the fake field goal? He's listed. He's not listed, by the way, on the depth chart. Not at all. Not first team, second team. Isaiah McKenzie.
Oh, man.
Marcel Harris, number 26.
And this is what I believe Will Muschamp was most counting on as being a leader of the team. When we talked to him, he goes, my guys are going to show up. They want to play football. Yeah, it hurts not to win football games. And, you know, all the talk about me, but they want to get out there and play. That's the type of intensity he was counting on in this football game.
Hunter Long is the backup center. David Andrews into the locker room with an injury. There's pressure and an incomplete pass. John Bullard, number 90, bulled his way toward the quarterback.
It's going to be a screen pass. They let Bullard go, but a little too quickly that time. And had it been thrown another foot higher, Vernon Hargraves would have had an interception.
Saw a brief glimpse of Isaiah McKenzie on the bench.
That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. A little flinch on the left side.
McKenzie.
Offside. 55 defense. Cause the offense to react. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, Darius Cummings.
Yes, right in the middle.
There we are.
Boy, I don't. So there was the center that moved to the nose tackle's move. Got it.
Second down, 5. Nick Chubb, the running back. There's that little move, except the other direction, and good defensive play. Brian Poole, number 24. And Quincy Wilson, number 12.
Well, remember, as Georgia was calmly winning these last 2 games without Todd Gurley, they had big leads in both of these games in the first half. And how about that penetration again? We talked about it.
That was Jared Davis, number 40.
Yep. Just shoots the gap, times it out perfectly, gets in unblocked, basically unblocked, and they are attacking the middle of the Georgia defense. Smart move. Injury to the center, and they're attacking right where that injury occurred.
And that will bring on Adam Erickson. Andre DeBose, number 4, is back at the 32-yard line. He does have a 62-yard punt return for a touchdown this year. And he has to come left. It bounces and will go out of bounds. Michael McNeely, a 5'8" redshirt senior wide receiver. He's got a sprinter style when he gets close. We are the second of 3 games on CBS today. Tonight, college football pride and tradition take center stage when the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame stack up with the Midshipmen of Navy, a primetime special right here on CBS Sports. Not something you see every morning, waves on the St. Johns River But you could have surfed on that little puppy this morning. And Michael McNeely had the fake field goal for the touchdown. Kelvin Taylor, number 21.
Doesn't it just appear more authoritative for Florida? I mean, they're not messing around or not reading things. I think they've simplified things and they've challenged. I think Kurt Roper and Will Muschamp has challenged his offense to say, we're going to put it, go block. We're putting it in your hands. We're going to ease it down. We need you to run the ball between the tackles.
22 rushes and 4 passes so far. Kelvin Taylor, official got in the way, inadvertent, but here is Taylor all the way to the 15-yard line.
Well, Vern, the longest play of the year against Georgia was 38 yards, and that was a pass play. The longest rush by Florida in the last 3 years was 20 yards, and that was by a quarterback. Finally, the running game is producing for Florida.
And a first down from the 15 in a tie game.
Big stop there.
Rameek Wilson, number 51.
Tackling machine, basically, Rameek Wilson.
Verizon red zone stats for Florida: 13 touchdowns in their 22 trips inside the 20-yard line. Second down and 10. Bobbled it. Drills it. Caught at the 2. LaTroy Pittman, number 9.
And this is nothing more than a ball placement. This is an athlete making a play. It's not easy. He finds it. He finds the open guy, and he puts the football where he had to. If he'd have led the receiver that time, it would have been intercepted.
Taylor. Touchdown, Gators.
And that Florida bench exploded. The defensive players went crazy.
Florida leads. Frankie Velez with the extra point. Who's holding? Kyle Crowfoot, who is listed as the number 1 holder. Take a look at the long run, Gary.
Pretty simple here. You challenge your offensive line, and they do a great job. They man up. You run through one tackle. You get to the secondary, and you make a play. Little help from the referee as well. That always helps.
Here's Taylor with the touchdown. That referee was Russ Pulley. He got clipped. Florida leads by 7. (14-7) Florida. They've come from 7 down. Taylor with the touchdown. And the Gators bench in a rather joyous mood right now.
Well, I mean, it was so bad, so disheartening in that Missouri football game when the defense played so well and so many turnovers. A kickoff return, a punt return, an interception, and a fumble for touchdowns, and now some life.
Isaiah McKenzie popped on the last kickoff return. Is back on the field at the goal line. Oh, goodness, it happened again. Not quite as hard hitting or direct contact. But let's revisit the long run of 44 yards.
Yeah, this is the umpire gets the 12th block here. This is the umpire, and that's Quincy Mauger. Okay, they're going to connect right about where those two triangles connect. Russ Pulley and Quincy Mauger, the umpire makes the hit right about the 50-yard line. Okay, now where the play ends is an extra 33 yards. And I think Margaret would have made that tackle. You called it live, Vernon. That's exactly, and that's why a lot of people think this guy should be back here like in the NFL.
First down 10. Left side, Mason, Conley. Conley's got a first down, it would appear.
You know, interestingly, neither of these teams throw the ball statistically very well. Florida is ranked 94th in the country. Georgia is ranked 112th in the country. However, just to follow up, Georgia does it better. That's based on yards. Georgia's pass efficiency is 26th, while Florida's 113th. That means they don't turn it over. They protect the ball, and they complete a high percentage. They're just not selling it out for a lot of yards. So we're going to see. Hudson Mason may have to be this day where he steps up and wins a game at the quarterback position.
He gets protection, pumps, now he's chased and dropped. Brian Cox Jr., number 94.
Well, that Florida defense, they're playing man-to-man coverage. They're challenging those defensive backs to stick with them. They do a great job of it, and Brian Cox Jr. makes the play, and that's one I think that Hudson would like to be able to just toss it away.
That is a loss of 10. It's 3rd and 16.
Remember the significance of this series. Florida gets the ball to start the second half. They could get it back and get it again.
Timeout called by the Gators.
Adam Zucker in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer, Brian, and I will get you caught up on all of today's action, including Duke staying atop the Coastal in the ACC thanks to Thomas Sirk's game winner in double overtime. Now back to Florida and Georgia.
Thank you, Adam. My gracious. David Cutcliffe. He's worked some magic in Duke. Kind of a perfect fit, too. This Thursday, the epic final season continues on 2.5 Men. A new episode Thursday at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. 3rd down, 16. Georgia. They trail by 7. Mason, pressure from the backside. Screen, Chubb. 4 yards short of the first down. Antonio Morrison, number 3 for the Gators. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that was pretty close and pretty scary. Remember this Florida defense. We've been zeroing in on the offense as all the problems. Remember, though, if you're a Florida fan, you remember the LSU game. They had LSU 3rd and 25. Could have put the game away, and LSU converted. So on that long distance, they played very safe.
We have not seen Colin Barber, the regular distance punter. This is Adam Erickson. That one affected by the wind. It takes a lateral bounce, but it stops at the 36-yard line. So Erickson has done all of the punting so far.
You know, as I watched Florida improve their run game, I started to think about Jeff Driscoll and a couple of plays that have happened this season. Now, you know, sometimes it just isn't meant to be. Remember this play against LSU, a perfect pass to Westbrook. And then coming back, Treon Harris comes in the game. The same receiver. This time, Tevin Westbrook makes the catch. And Jeff sarcastically goes, hey, what can you do?
Yeah.
Sometimes it isn't meant to be.
First down 10, Florida with a 7-point lead. 2 timeouts remaining. Taylor out to the 41-yard line. Damian Swan, number 5, with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
This is where you have to be very careful with your young quarterback. I believe if you're Kurt Roper, you want to go into that locker room. If I was Will Muschamp, I would say, I want to go in this locker room with the lead.
2nd and 7. A
middle.
Kelvin Taylor again. 2:10 to go.
Well, Jeremy Pruitt's defense for Georgia had not given up a big rushing play all year. 24 yards all season was the long rush before Florida gashed him for that long run. Now, they need to stop right now.
3rd and 2. Matt Jones.
In the Wildcat.
Yeah, a little Wildcat action.
And they got it, didn't they, Georgia?
Leonard Floyd. Goodness.
I assume Mark Richt will take a timeout here, won't he? Great penetration inside to make that play. And Mark Richt's going to let it go down. Oh, he just didn't play it fast enough.
I remember a game against Auburn.
Cost him 20 seconds. Cost him 20 seconds.
Oh, dear. Well, Mark Richt with his back to us, looking, I think, at a clock. But it appeared almost 20 seconds.
I think it was 20 to 25 max, but no matter what Mark wants to point to, he should have been ready with the timeout should they had to stop.
Kyle Christie on the punt. Reggie Davis, fair catch. Taken at the 17-yard line. 38-yard punt, nothing on the return. And you heard Adam mention a while ago, we'll be going back to our New York studios for the Geico halftime report. We get deep into the season in 2014, and they will get you caught up on everything that has gone on and will happen later.
Well, this is going to be a little interesting clash of what a head coach might want and what a quarterback might want. When we talked to Hudson Mason on the phone, he said, I'm always ready to throw 40 balls a game. Haven't been asked to do it. But will Mark Richt ask his first-year quarterback to take and throw it right now?
Underneath it goes.
Very conservative.
Malcolm Mitchell.
Very, very conservative. It's almost as if, like, get me out to the 40 and I'll let you rip some. But right now, I can't afford a mistake. Even though he's a fifth-year player, it's his first year as a starter.
He'll keep it. Slides down at the 22-yard line. Jalen Tabor, number 5, with the tackle, and 27 seconds. No indication that Mr. Richt wants to stop the clock.
No, it might be up to Mr. Muschamp should they get a stop here. And I tell you, I think both coaches right now would be happy to go into the locker room, especially that man.
3rd and 6. 5-4.
The Georgia fans are booing. The Florida fans are cheering.
That's not what we expected. And for Will Muschamp, that's welcome noise in the system.
I think it was a good decision by Mark Richt not to make a horrible mistake at the end of the half. Go in, regroup. It's a long football game.
14-7. The go-ahead touchdown on a fake field goal. Michael McNeely. Let's go down to Allie, who was with Will Muschamp.
Coach, you made a risky decision to fake the field goal. It paid off. You tied the ball game up 7-7. What kind of a message did that send to your players?
Well, we carry fakes into every game. We got the look we wanted, and we called it. It was a nice execution by our players.
Nick Chubb rushed for over 100 yards in the first quarter alone, but you held him to under 10 in the second quarter. What did you change?
Well, nothing. He's a good player. They did a nice job of blocking support on the long touchdown. He made.
Allie, thank you. That is the end of the half with our score. Florida leading 14-7. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio.
All right. right, thanks, Vern. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer, Brian, and I will get you caught up on all of today's action and preview the primetime matchup between Notre Dame and Navy after this word from your local station.
Breaks the tackle, another at the 10, and into the corner. Touchdown, Nick Chubb!
And that's going to be a fake as they snap it in. A touchdown for the Gators. Burrows his way down toward the goal line. He's in! Touchdown! 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 Taylor made!
What we most need, I think, is a little passion about this game. 14-7. Now let's go inside the headset powered by AT&T, official sponsor of the SEC. Here's Allie with Mark Richt.
Coach, this is your fewest points in a first half all season. What changes would you like to see offensively?
Well, we just got to get back to running the ball well, good play action pass. Got to hit our targets, got to trust our protection and let the ball rip.
How has the injury to your center, David Andrews, affected the offensive at all?
Well, David's a great player for us and a great leader. And, whether or not he'll get back in there or not, I don't know. But, he's a good football player. But, long as a guy that has got to step up and do his thing if he cannot.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Allie. Recall that Florida won the toss prior to the game. They deferred the options, so they will get the football as the shadows lengthen here on mid-autumn Saturday afternoon in Jacksonville on the banks of the St. Johns River. Andre DeBose is the deep back. Brandon Powell is also back with him. Powell wearing number 15. That's DeBose number 4. Marshall Morgan will kick off. Andre DeBose. And so we open here in Jacksonville. I almost tipped over trying to stand.
They don't know. They don't know.
But I'm just truth in advertising. I had to kind of. I was moving
on a little rise. Big deal. Right?
Yeah.
What is it? 8 inches maybe.
This is a heck of a way to start the second half.
3 inches. It's 3
okay.
inches.
All right.
That's the on camera. Let's go back
that's
to
it.
Football.
This way. Oh my goodness.
Fern almost fell.
Well, I was in a hurry to get by your side.
All right, there you go.
First down 10.
Same old, same play.
Well, at the half, Treon Harris, the freshman, getting his first start. 2 of 5.
Yes.
They're leading.
But the key stat is 2 of 5 is important because that means they ran the ball. Just think about this. In the last 3 years, Florida's run for 201 yards. We talked about that.
Right.
In the first half, they rushed for 162 in one half. That's what they needed to do to take the pressure off the quarterback in this game. But, as Allie talked to Mark Richt, the challenge is exactly what Mark said for Georgia. It's the basics. It's hit the target, block, run the right hold, do the fundamentals. That's the only way Georgia's going to get back in the football game.
Third down 1. Florida, 50% so far in the ball game.
Georgia's bringing up their safeties.
Taylor breaks through. First down, Gators. How about trends in the first half?
Well, you saw the football game. If you did, you knew Nick Chubb got a good, quick start. Allie talked to Will Muschamp. He said, we didn't change anything. We just did a better job of finding him. Treon Harris, as Vern told you, has been quiet. And him quiet is like a dog that doesn't bark. You don't need him to bark. Just be nice and quiet. It's been all runs. And you can see it. It's special teams play. 1 missed field goal and 1 fake field goal.
First down, 10. Snap a little high. Taylor gets to the edge. Chased by Herrera. Gets by him, and then Mauger knocks him out of bounds. Quincy Mauger.
Wasn't there a Sherlock Holmes story where he solved it because the dog didn't bark? That's how he solved it? I had to read that in high school.
Now you're getting me to a Pink Panther line.
Nice bounce out to the outside, and Demarcus Robinson got a big block on that play. He's quiet, but I'm telling you, the Georgia safeties are starting to sneak up into the box.
Matt Jones on the field.
Soon they're going to pull it up and go.
Brandon Powell. Martin makes the tackle.
You know, because of the run game from Florida, Georgia's playmakers, the playmakers Leonard Floyd and Jordan Jenkins, have not been called a lot. Those are the guys that can destroy an offense in those passing situations, and they've been forced to be quiet. 59 and 84.
2nd and 8 at the 44 of Georgia. From the corner, they go the opposite way. It's Jones, makes his own headway down the sideline. Touchdown. The second 44-yard run for the Gators in the ball game.
See if he stepped out. He's got his foot in. All he needs to do is touch it. That's a touchdown. And Vern, remember I told you about Demarcus Robinson blocking? He got 2 guys on this one. You still holding on to that football?
I am.
Because it's a rushing game, and hold on to the football.
How about that start to the second half? Velez, extra point, good.
Well, it's the same run Nick Chubb made. A bounce out to the outside. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to circle both right there. I think it's the top one. Watch Demarcus Robinson right there get 2 blocks. Okay, he gets his own guy first, and then he finishes on the safety. How about that? And there's a guy who usually expects, you know, those receivers that don't get a lot of balls thrown to him. He gets 1 block, and then he gets another block. Usually you get those wide receivers that pout if they don't get the football. How about that? From, I think, one of the great playmakers in football, blocking for the Gators.
Opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Brilliant downfield blocking by Robinson. A nice run by Matt Jones. Look at the 2 running backs.
That's how you're supposed to do it. And then eventually that passing game will come. This is no different than football's been for 50 years.
21-7. And the kickoff coming. Austin Harden. Reggie Davis is the deep back for the Georgia Bulldogs. Davis will let that one sail through the end zone. Touchback.
Vern, I'll tell you, it was a great run, but I'm going to just highlight these linemen. All 6'5" line, a perfect blocking scheme. They close on the center, the guard to the center, block back Garcia. Watch the tight end, Burton right here. And then DJ Humphrey sets up the block and goes to the next linebacker. 6 people doing exactly what they were coached.
On first down, Mason. Deep, down the middle, incomplete. Intended for Malcolm Mitchell. Jabari Gorman, number 2, had a hand on it.
Yeah, that ball was thrown high. If that ball would have been placed a little lower, that thing would have been caught. You know, it's been nice for Hudson Mason. Now, I believe the game's going to fall to give more than he's had to do it all year.
Catch is made by Malcolm Mitchell.
You know, little bit of a game in the Clemson game, the opener. Gurley runs back a kickoff return. The South Carolina game, they hung in there. But this is the time where, for the last 4 years, it's been Aaron Murray.
Yep.
Now it's Hudson Mason's turn to bring this team back.
Georgia has won the last 3 in the series. Here's Mason, dumps it, dropped by Blazevich, the freshman tight end.
It was really a nice job by Hudson Mason, moving up in the pocket, finding the time, and delivering the ball, and this is what was happening to Florida. Now Georgia is dropping the ball.
Leron Ball helped defend. Hargraves is off. And Colin Barber making his first appearance in the ball game.
The wind conditions about the same.
Oh, they came for the block. No flag down.
Boy, and that was a very dangerous attempt to catch that football, too. I think he was on his knees when he attempted to catch it.
Still a scrum, and Colin Barber can't get off the field. He's kneeling now at the 26. And one of the officials is down.
Now, Barber's going, I'm not faking this. I got clipped on this play. Florida put the rush on. They were going for the block. Kick it. And let's see if he clips his... I don't think so. He really didn't touch him. I think that's a good no call. I really do. Doesn't he go right underneath him?
Well, that's where the contact was made.
Yeah, he brushed him a little bit, and I thought the punter moved his leg back. Referee standing right there did not make the call.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Napa. Coke Zero. Wheels Up. And by Chick-fil-A. 21-17, Florida 7 rather. Florida leading. And was there contact?
Well, look at Matt Moore. Our camera's about 40 yards away, but Matt Moore is about 12 yards away. Now watch it from his angle. To me, he thinks the guy goes right underneath him and doesn't touch him. His call right there. I know, Georgia fans are going to see it one way, but it doesn't matter. Matt Moore saw it a different way.
They have taped up Colin Barber's ankle. First down 10. Taylor goes left, and not very far. Quincy Mauger, number 20, defensively.
Well, this proud Georgia defense that coming into this game had given up a long run of only 24 yards on the whole season, has been gashed in the running game. You got a team now running Florida for over 230 yards. They have to stand up strong. Quarterback draw?
Indeed. Across midfield.
Yeah, same formation. They ran the same play before. They don't have a lot of offense in for Treon Harris. Trips to the top side, put the player in motion, and run the quarterback draw behind it.
Now he followed Max Garcia, number 76.
And I'll bet you this game plan is about 50% the size of a normal game plan, because Will Muschamp and Kurt Roper said, let's not make mistakes.
That's Clay Burton in motion. Rotating Georgia defense. Taylor. Nothing this time. Sterling Bailey, number 58, with the tackle. And Reggie Carter, number 45. Rushing 36 for 246. Georgia 23 for 104. 2nd and 10. Matt Jones at running back. And so he goes. Stiff arms. Beauty.
You know, Matt Jones, I watched the LSU tape. He was coming off of a drained knee, and he did not play a lot in that football game. Hurt him at the end of the game when they did not have him in the backfield, when they didn't score against LSU. You can see he's the big back that loves to run the ball between the tackles, and really the vision of what Will Muschamp wanted his football team to be. He believes the SEC as a line of scrimmage league is exactly unfolding in this game.
First down 10 after the 24-yard run. Jones joins Kelvin Taylor in excess of 100 yards in the game. And they'll give it to him again as he drives. He's 6'2", 228, as Gary said. He is the bigger of the two. Kelvin Taylor, 5'10", 214.
Let's circle this guy. This has been the power play that they've been running so far. I bet they've run this play 12 times. Tyler Moore comes around. You get big guys on one side of just Clay Burton just manning up and bring one more around the backside.
Tyler Moore on in place of the injured Trenton Brown. He went down in the first quarter, 2nd and 3.
Big play there.
Quincy Mauger, who's been very active.
Yeah, Quincy Mauger goes, it's a lot easier without an umpire in the way.
The reference to the long run in which the referee, the umpire, beg your pardon, got in the way of a potential tackle. How about this?
Interesting play call, too, as you look at that graphic. Will Muschamp pound it twice? Will he go with the fade to Robinson, who's a really gifted player out at the top right there?
Fourth down.
It's going to be a penalty, though. Was it timed properly by Georgia? Might have been offsides.
Mike Thornton, if indeed it is, number 96.
Offside. Defense. Number 96. 5-yard penalty. Penalty will result in a first down.
He got a good shot in there, didn't he? He was off like a bullet, but a half step early.
First down goal. It's Jones, the running back. Dubose on the sweep.
Got a little fancy, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Those always look nice when they work, but right now, Kurt Roper, the coordinator, second-guessing himself. I guarantee you.
Well, Georgia's Verizon Red Zone defensive stats: 16 touchdowns on 22 trips. National average 61%. 2nd and goal. Design keeper, Treon Harris, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
You can almost feel it that the Florida offensive brain trust is not willing to let Treon Harris make an egregious mistake. Can't you? I mean, it's almost like, give me 3 if I have to get 3. I mean, I think the riskiest play they may call is a fade. You can see Kurt Roper going, I'd love to throw it, but I don't know. I've already tried one tricky play and it didn't work.
Robinson is split wide to the left.
That's the only play I would attempt, is a fade to Robinson, as good as he is.
3rd and goal, leading by 14, Florida.
Play a game.
Play game. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And you can almost feel that Florida was arguing between everybody. Should we run it? Should we throw it? And all that talking, they got it off a half second late.
Will Muschamp has had Harris throw it 6 times. He's completed 3.
This one's going between the tackles.
As it does, Jones, stiff arm. 4th down.
Tough part about that, if they had not had the penalty, that play right there might score. This play was designed between the tackles. Jones bounces it outside. We've seen this all day. These running backs take the kind of single back running attack, bounce outside, and turn upfield.
And this time the holder will be Kyle Crowfoot. This is a 21-yard field goal. Frankie Velez. Remember they had a 21-yarder they got? Oh, boy.
Not very good.
No.
But good enough.
Yeah. Hearts a Twitter.
Bet.
For Florida. Yeah, Velez might pull the muscle. There's Crowfoot.
He kicked the ground. See that? He kicked it about 6 inches behind the ball that time.
24-7.
Adam Zucker with his Heisman Watch, presented by Nissan. Melvin Gordon trying to keep Wisconsin in the Big Ten West hunt. He goes for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Badgers' 37-0 win at Rutgers. Meanwhile, we'll see Everett Colson here on CBS against Navy tonight, and Dak Prescott tries to keep his Bulldogs on top against Arkansas.
All right, Adam, on the sideline, take a look at a place kicker in need of energy.
Yeah, at one time he had 2 Gatorades, gave one away. Let's take one more look. Watch the divot before the ball. By the way, that is the exact way you're supposed to hold it. Tilt towards you, but the divot's supposed to not happen before the ball, and that's why it did not get any height on it. And that's why he kind of tweaked his leg, too. And he goes to the sideline. He's got 2 juice bottles for a 20. Jesus, imagine if that was a 40-yard field goal. What he'd be getting. It's a 20-yarder.
You do bring a unique perspective to all of this.
You know why? That's for being a backup quarterback. You get to notice all that stuff on the sideline and just rag on guys.
Oh, gosh. Austin Harden will kick off for the Gators. Reggie Davis from the 3. Missed the tackle. Not that one, though. Marcel Harris, number 26. Well, the committee that will battle in the college playoffs released their first findings, and the top 4, Mississippi State, Auburn, Ole Miss, surrounding Florida State. And as we have mentioned many times, this is going to change dramatically by the time the selection is announced of the Final 4 on December 7th.
I thought for the picture, the snapshot of what happened the first half of the year, I thought it accurately reflected with the 4 right there.
You bet. A slant play, Malcolm Mitchell.
Let's see if they go a little no-huddle shotgun for Georgia. Try to get back in the football game by doing something a little different. Well, the no-huddle part, I was right.
Yeah. Chubb.
Fumbled the ball. Yes, he did. I think he's calling him down, though. I think the linesman is calling him down.
Brian Poole hit him. This Georgia team has lost only 1 fumble all year long. And now we got a little Dante Fowler, Michael Bennett altercation.
Brian Poole, let's see if he was down. I think it was a fumble. My first look was that it was a fumble. Let's watch the whole play first. I think this is going to be Florida ball. Brian Poole, you're right, Vern, came from behind, and see if he rips it out before it goes down.
First down, Georgia.
From that look, you can't tell. watch this.
Oh, it's out.
Absolutely.
It's out.
Clearly out. That's going to be Florida's football. Because even though they call him down, the immediate play, it's recovered by Florida. They're going to get the ball.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it's clearly out. And that's why, this is the main reason why you have replay. You know all those little ones where guys foot an inch, an inch, an inch? Just imagine this no replay right now and this huge play that the officials saw wrongly. I mean, it happens 100 miles an hour. They did not see it pop out like that. The ball was clearly out. And it's going to be Florida's football.
John Bible is the replay official. And that appeared definitive.
The Florida guys are going, you better run back to the bench.
The previous play is under further review.
Brian Poole made the play from behind.
Well, it was a well-blocked play. Get it in the secondary. A big play finally for Georgia after the earlier big play by Chubb. Ball's clearly out. The officials are saying that it was not a fumble. Now, who recovers it? Florida's on the ball clearly.
Well, that is the discussion going on. Darius Cummings appeared to have recovered at number 55.
Yeah, he's got it, and he's down right there. See how he's down when he gets touched? Remember, they don't have to. The only thing they're going to overrule now is he was called down on the field. There was not called. I don't think they even made a decision who recovered it on the field because they thought the player was down. So the official doesn't have to overrule who got the ball. He can actually make up his mind, the replay official, who recovered the fumble.
There's Cummings.
He's got it, and he's touched. And then a few guys fight for it after that. Well, I think there's no doubt.
Well, these kinds of things change careers, cost people jobs.
Well,
I know, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I mean Mark Richt's job's not any problem. I mean, he's got his football team in the right direction. But you're right about Will Muschamp. I mean, he needs this to go the proper way.
After further review, the ruling is the ball was fumbled, immediately recovered by Florida. It will be Florida's ball, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
And the key word is immediately. It happened right away. An immediate reaction to the fumble. And Florida's ball.
Didn't listen to be on camera.
Got to hold on to the ball. Key part of the game, running the ball. We just knew it. Neither team wanted their quarterback to really be the feature player in this football game.
Well, that negated a 39-yard Georgia run by Chubb. Here's Kelvin Taylor, over 100. So also is Matt Jones. That is only the second fumble Georgia has lost this year.
Remember, coming into this game, it wasn't Georgia number 1 at plus 14, and Florida was even on the year.
Yeah, plus 13, and they had they had the 1 earlier. 2nd and 6. Heavy dose of Kelvin Taylor and Matt Jones, and that's going to continue.
Open up the offense. But, you know, we still got a long time to play, and we've been to these games before in college football. These fourth quarters last forever. And if you get too conservative, all of a sudden, somebody puts a touchdown on the board, and you know, you're gripping right away.
3rd and 6. Will Muschamp played 4 years for the University of Georgia, grew up in Gainesville. As a player and a coach, he's never been a winner in this game. Kelvin Taylor again. Will Muschamp was 0 for 4 as a player at Georgia. 0 for 3 as a coach at Florida.
You can see it right now. Will Muschamp did not want to put a 3rd and long on his young quarterback. However, like just remember, just the one touchdown here, end of the 3rd quarter, and it becomes a 10-point game in the start gripping.
Isaiah McKenzie is back. Kyle Christie on the punt on 4th and 2. 2:40 to go in the 3rd. Down at the 28. Sometimes all you can do is get to the quick. (24-7) Florida leads. We begin the final quarter. They've covered the most memorable games and competed at the highest level in sports. Don't miss what these women have to say. We need to talk. Tuesday nights at 10 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Well, because Georgia's been playing from the lead a lot this year, they've never been forced to go deep with the football. Here's the first half pass chart. Nothing deep. All the completions less than 5 yards.
And David Andrews is back at the center spot.
Wow, taped up.
Yep. Number 61. Play action. Mason goes short. Fumble.
Out again.
There's a scramble. Chubb dropped it for the 2nd time in as many possessions. I think Georgia recovered.
Well, second half for Georgia for Hudson Mason. Remember, he missed a pass over the middle, threw it a little bit high that time, and then he had a pass drop. Now he completes one, and Chubb drops it actually before he got to the ground. That would have been a fumble, I think.
Greg Pike, the right guard, recovered it. Quincy Wilson with the hit. 2nd down, 8. 1:44 to go. Mason, too high. And let's take a moment to go back to New York for this forward update. Here's Adam.
Vern, lots of fumbles in Morgantown. This is the first play for number 7 TCU after West Virginia took the lead. Terrell Chestnut strips Josh Doxson. Chestnut roasting the Horned Frogs for 35 yards. 2 touchdowns in 15 seconds. Nears on top 27-14. Back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. It's 24-7 here. And 3rd at 8. Got him. Dante Fowler.
Well, big number 6, you must know where he is all the time. We talked about him. He's a mismatch. He lines up wide. He's got the tight end matched up. That's a true freshman on one of the elite pass rushers in the SEC. That's a protection that I would not want if I was a quarterback.
Fowler with his 3rd and a half sack of the year. Colin Barber with a heavily taped left ankle. Ooh.
That wind bothered him,
yes.
didn't it?
Dubose dancing down the sidelines, out of bounds. Knocked there by Reggie Davis.
Special teams have been controlled by Florida in this football game. DuBose does not handle the wind. The wind is going to push him to the right. But once he catches it, his speed gets to the sideline. He kept Florida in that LSU game, I'll tell you that. And remember, it just makes me think of Jeff Demps. Remember we were hearing, what was it, 11 or 12? He had that 99-yard kickoff return. That's the kind of speed DuBose has. It's a huge stop for this Georgia defense. They have to stand up right now and force a field goal.
It's Matt Jones.
Kept it.
Harris keeps it. Jordan Jenkins. Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athletes. First of all, Max Garcia began his collegiate career at Maryland. Volunteered with the Adopted Team program. A GPA of 3.03. Chris Conley, 3.32, major in journalism. He directed his own movie in the offseason. He's one of the more remarkable young student athletes we've interacted with over the years. 2nd and 9. Red Lobster committed to the investment of our future by donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund. Jones.
And that play is just killing Georgia. Just killing them. I mean, they must have, they're bordering on 20 times, I bet, that they've run this play through 3 quarters. Pull them around and follow them and then read the block. Even though you have a linebacker right in the middle of the play, it was Reggie Carter. He runs right away from him.
Big quarter for Florida. It's over. That's the end of 3. Scored 24-7. We'll return to Jacksonville right after this word from your local station. Tradition at Florida, of course. The Gator fans gather and sing "We Are the Boys." And they are in a celebratory mood today as we begin the 4th. 24-7. Florida trying to go to 4-3 for the season. Georgia jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but now Florida with a 3rd and 1.
Run it and push him from behind like you're allowed to do.
Oh, my goodness. Jones, little stutter step behind the line.
You know, usually on these 3rd and 1s, you get a guy that just runs straight ahead and tries to plow. But Jones is patient, sees the block, actually runs behind the tight end's block on that play, and gets by. It was actually behind Tevin Westbrook's block that he patiently waited for.
First down goal with a 24-7 lead. Darts to the right side, chased by Mulder. Dives for the end zone. Consultation between the officials. Did he or did he not get in?
Got him a half-yard short.
Yep.
Means his foot came out of bounds before the ball. This will be reviewed. This will be reviewed. Did he stick the ball across the line before his foot hits?
No, Robinson's.
Let's see if the ball goes before the foot lands. I think you can make the argument that that could be a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You could. It could. Since he does not hit the pylon with the ball, there's no definitive rule.
The ruling on the field was the runner was out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The previous play is under further review.
This is almost like the field goal. Since he goes over the pylon, the replay official really, I don't think, can change the call yet. I have not seen anything. You can't assume. Bounces out. We've seen this all day. Carries it in his right hand. And by the time his right foot comes down, was closer there, don't you think, Vern?
Yeah, I do.
I actually think, would I change this if I was the official?
Well, that's that old word, incontrovertible.
Yes. I mean, the one from behind, if we could see the one from behind again, you almost see the football going. Let's see. Boy, these guys are good. This is the one I think really might tell the story. Does he get that football inside? The guy was being blocked there. He couldn't see it. Go back. I think that's a touchdown. I really would call that a touchdown. If I was doing it, I'd call it a touchdown. That's the definitive picture right there. The ball is inside the pylon.
John Bible is the fellow who's doing it. He's the replay official.
It would be a hairline call. Bible may say it's on the half-yard line. You get the rest is yours. I'm not doing this. All right, if it was me, I'd call it a touchdown.
Okay. Let's see what John Bible decides.
Foot went down. I think the ball got in and above the pylon.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Second down.
It was close.
Yeah.
I haven't missed many this year, have I?
No, you have not.
No, I thought that's what I would have done. I could see it, that him not saying it's too close. You know, I just don't want to make that call.
Sure.
You can't get it in from there. It's your problem, basically.
Second and goal. Mac Brown is on at fullback for the first time this afternoon. Matt Jones.
Treon Harris shifts out. They're going to go the Wildcat.
Yep.
This did not work last time.
One blitz coming. It does work this time.
Good snap, good catch. And this time just put your head down and try to get 6 inches.
Sterling Bailey is the injured player.
Well, the game plan was obvious. We're going to try, if we don't turn the ball over, to keep it out of our quarterback's hands and ask him to do too much. 56 plays, Vern, 50 runs, 6 passes.
Treon Harris, when much less was on the mind, i.e. a game against Eastern Michigan, he threw his first 2 passes, both for touchdowns, both in excess of 70 yards. Had a significant role in the come-from-behind win at Tennessee. This is Sterling Bailey still down.
You know, actually in that Tennessee game I watched, it was almost like this game. I mean, they put him in, and good things happened to the team. You know, he made nominal plays, but it was more that they got the breaks. I actually talked to Jeff Driscoll when I was down on the field today. I wanted to visit with him. He's been so good to us when we visited with him over the years. And I said, Jeff, don't let last week be the signature of your life. Take that and go from there and just make it as one of the crossroads that you had to get over, one of the building blocks of your life. And he said, I'm fine. Good kid.
Austin Harden is on for the extra point. Out of the Wildcat. Touchdown Gators. Matt Jones. Treon Harris leading the celebration.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Well, let's try and get you caught up. Opening drive, Nick Chubb went to the right side, strolled in, broke a couple of tackles, 39 yards, Georgia on top, 7-0. Michael McNeely, fake field goal. 21 yards, in for the touchdown, extra point good, tied at 7. Kelvin Taylor, 2-yard rushing touchdown. Florida takes a 14-7 lead. Matt Jones, 44 yards, left side. Great downfield blocking by Robinson. Great job by the offensive line. That made it 21-7. Velez took a divot on the field goal, but it did limp through, and he limped off. 22-0. Nick Chubb, the good and the bad. Fumbled on this one. 151 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 lost fumble. And look at this, 323 rushing yards. That is a season high for Florida. It's also a season high yield for the Georgia Bulldogs. And here's the last touchdown out of the Wildcat. This, Gary, has been a pretty convincing performance by Florida.
This is has to be so disappointing for Georgia. Coming in, ranked 9th, 10th, whatever it is in the country. They knew that Florida was going to be one-dimensional today in this football game running. They couldn't imagine he's going to throw 30 passes. Very simple plays. They really took it to Georgia and ran it right down their throats.
Well, the previous high against this Georgia run defense was 176, and we're well north of 300 early in the fourth quarter.
What happened is Georgia got a couple games. Finally the loss of Todd Gurley has kind of shown something. They don't have that deep threat as a pass receiver, nor the deep threat of a home run hitter from Gurley. And the schedule that went their way made it maybe look a little too good for this football team.
Reggie Davis. And let's go down once again to Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Vern. I have an update on Sterling Bailey. It's a right shoulder injury. He was in so much pain that he was holding his right arm up with his left arm just to give it a little more support. They did take him back into the locker room for further assistance.
Okay, thank you, Allie.
You know what I mean about their schedule a little bit, Vern? When you first looked at the schedule, Georgia was saying, wow, we caught a bad break. We don't play Mississippi or Mississippi State. And then that turned out to be a good break. They also didn't play LSU or Alabama, so their schedule's looking like winnable. And then all of a sudden, when they needed that game, 1 or 2 more games to get back with Todd Gurley, it wasn't there.
Gurley must sit out next week as well. Georgia's remaining SEC games, Florida today, of course, then at Kentucky and against Auburn on the 15th. They do have Gurley back then.
And as odd as it could be, Florida's schedule, they could sneak in on the West if they finish off this game. Because they just have winnable games left. And you look at Georgia with Auburn, you look at Missouri, they still have 4 games. They haven't played anybody from the West yet.
Right.
So all of a sudden, what looked like a disaster going into this week when everybody assumed Will was a dead man walking, all of a sudden, whoa, he could get to Atlanta.
Play action. Hudson Mason across the middle. Intended for Bennett. Knocked away by Brian Poole. Let's take a look at the current SEC East standings. There's Georgia with a 4-1 record, but trailing by 24 here. Missouri is leading in their game. Kentucky, and then there's Florida at 2-3. Remember they had a game called No Contest?
Yes.
Against Idaho, first week of the season. Only 1 play in that game, a kickoff return, and then thunderstorms. Mason under trouble, goes deep left side. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. Jalen Tabor, number 5, was back.
And with a first-year quarterback here, Hudson Mason, it was able to manage this football season because Georgia, because of the injuries to their wide receiver, does not have the elite firepower at the wideout that they're used to. I mean, there's no Cooper out here, A.J. Green out here to kind of take the top off of this Florida defense.
3rd and 10. Go short again. Chubb gets the first down and then tripped up. Contact made around the ankle.
That was great blocking by that offensive line for Georgia. Rushed 4, but Hudson Mason stayed in there, and finally dropped it off.
Antonio Morrison, number 3.
The only thing you can do as a quarterback when you're down this big is just go through your reads and take what's there.
That one thrown at the feet. Are they going to throw a flag? They are. Remember the last time we saw Georgia?
And this was supposed to be a screen pass.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Whoa.
Number 91, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Wow, that's David Andrews, the center that time, was 15 yards downfield attempting to block for the screen pass. You see the ball's thrown, and they hit in the back. Good call. Helmet to the back.
Joey Ivy.
Joey Ivy ran out like it was hockey, like he was going to get a penalty, 2 minutes in the box. But no, right back out.
Mason again, got him.
Nice delivery.
That's Malcolm Mitchell. Mitchell gets up very, very slowly. Well, he has worked so hard to get back on the field. Missed all of last year with the exception of the opening quarter of the season. Re-injured his knee.
Tried to substitute
in the summer.
Michael Bennett back in the game, and he couldn't get out there.
First and goal. Chubb, nothing. Double teamed and dropped. John Bullard, number 90. Dante Fowler. Loss of 4.
From behind that time, Fowler's rushing the passer and finds the draw man.
Mason, Fowler chasing him. Mason.
Oh, bounce. Bounce. Yep. Get your 2-point play ready if you're Georgia. You're down 24 points. You got to get 3 8s. This ball could have been picked off. It wasn't. And Chubb gets it.
Vernon Hargraves defending. Yep.
Vernon Hargraves. Defended well by Florida. They blitzed Hudson Mason, and Mark Richt had it ready. He was instantly signaling 2 fingers. He was going for 2. He knew exactly what he had to do. And right now, he's with his defensive team, talking to them. He needs a 3 and out.
Conley and Bennett, right side. So was Mitchell. Blitz. Underneath. Caught. Good for 2. No. I thought he had control.
He must have been bobbling it all the way. It was a gimmick play. Chubb faked the block and then slipped inside. Watch Chubb. They know it's going to be a blitz. Bobo knows it's going to be a blitz. The offensive coordinator, he goes and then goes. And he's got it. He's got it. Well, I think they might review this.
There's the grab.
He goes across. Does he get to the ground before it comes out? I assume it's reviewable. Why not, right? Mark Richt is going, why don't they look at this? You looked at one, was an inch from a touchdown for 10 minutes. Look at this, baby. It's a big play.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Hyundai, Dr. Pepper, New York Life Insurance Company, and by Chick-fil-A.
We're going to show you one more look as we come back of that last 2-point play. The ball is bobbled, then controlled, but we believe up here, John Bible, the replay official, is going to agree with the referees that the ball moved before he touched the ground. You can see the ball moving before his rear end touches the ground. I think that was the proper call. It was a huge call because instead of it being a 2-possession game, it's now a 3-possession game.
And the call was confirmed. It stands as called. So no 2-point play. Marshall Morgan is on.
Very interesting. Florida only has 4 players on the front line.
Yeah.
Only 4 defenders. Their inability to stop the run. Would they go onside kick now? I'm surprised Will Muschamp does not move people up. Only 4 defenders, first line of defense.
Georgia has gone for the onside kick once this year. They were unsuccessful. Nope. Taken at the 5. Brandon Powell, number 15.
They're going to call it? No call. They're letting them play, and they're continuing to let them play.
Costa Vavlis, one of the special team stars.
He actually left his feet before Powell got out of bounds on the play. I think it's a good no call.
There's Vavlis. First down 10.
Well, Georgia has had no ability to stop the run. Okay, as you look at, we said, I mean, we talked about 201 was the number. That's what we came in 3 games. Do you sell out more? Look how wide and deep the safeties are to stop the run.
Taylor got and dropped.
Tell you, when you had a lead like this, and you try to hold on, that clock seems like it's stuck. Look at the Florida players. Look up at the clock.
That was Corey Moore with the tackle, number 39. A loss of 2, 2nd and 12. 10:35 to go. Again, a little stutter step behind the line. This time, Kelvin Taylor. Marlo Herrera, number 52, with the stop. Well, on Monday, Athletic Director Jeremy Foley had this to say at the beginning of the season. We said we would evaluate the season as it plays out. We will continue to do so. Our sole focus right now is supporting our coaching staff and players as they prepare for Georgia. Will Muschamp looking for his first win in this series as either a player or a head coach.
Treon Harris has thrown 1 pass this half, and I didn't think it would be 2 after that play. They are going to play the clock. Now, perhaps if Georgia had made that 2-point play and made it a 2-possession game, they might have risked it. But they were not on that one.
Georgia, Mark Richt, has used one of his 3 timeouts. Next week, Thursday Night Football showcases at AFC North rivalry as the Browns take on the Bengals. Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on the NFL Network. Bengals have won 8 of the last 11. Cleveland's last win in Cincinnati, 2008. Congratulations, by the way, to Maryland, defeating Penn State today for the first time since 1961 on a last-second field goal. Here is the punt. Kyle Christie, Isaiah McKenzie. Oh, boy. Legal. McKenzie at the 30. 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
You know that is my idea to help out and for players. I think they should outlaw that block. I think you should only be able to block in the direction you're going.
Damian Swan on Valdez Showers. (31-13), Florida leads it. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Well, this has to be as perfect a finish as, remember Aaron Murray against Auburn when it looked so bad, and they have to have a perfect finish now. No mistakes. Every ball has to almost be completed for a first down, and they're probably going to have to throw an onside kick or two in there for them to win this football game.
31. Excuse me, Gary.
Yeah, Vern, I think one stop by Florida, it's their game.
Mason back. Boy, good downfield coverage. He does get rid of it, but it was a little soft, and Hargraves knocks it away from Michael Bennett.
Well, you can see that for this Florida football team, they're going to play 8 people back, 3-man rush. They're playing zone defense, keep everything in front of you. I think there's another guy back there. See, there's another guy back there.
Yep. Nick Chubb.
Get the ball, go, get up.
Of course, it's 4-down territory. Of course it is.
8:45 to go. Right side.
A nice back shoulder throw and a great catch that time. Malcolm Mitchell, the ball's almost on its way. Now he turns, and it's placed perfectly to the outside to beat pretty good coverage. Vernon Hargraves is going to give you that one. He does not want the stutter and go on him.
8:20 to go.
Oh, they got it.
Yes, they do. Blazevich to the 21.
Hard to believe. Mike Bobo just signals one play, fake, and he's gone. That's a lack of discipline by that Florida defense. They've seen it all year. They had a bust in that Alabama game we did. They had a bust against LSU, and they had a bust right there.
That was Marcus May, number 20, who bit. First down and 10. Under 8 to go. Down by Malcolm Mitchell.
I think they're going to call an offensive pick on this play. Let's see if Michael Bennett, doesn't get called for a pick play on this play. I thought he stuck his hands out.
Number 83. 15 yards from the previous play.
Yeah, it's the freshman Blazevich on this play. Watch him, he even sticks his hands out. Had he not stuck his hand out, he might have got away from him. Watch him come out and push with his hands. I think that's a great call.
So they bring it back. March it north. It'll be down between the 37 and 36-yard lines. First down, 25.
Those wide receiver pick plays have been getting a lot of pub lately, right?
I noticed that. Left side, got it. Chris Conley.
Nice job getting out of bounds by Conley. Very smart. Didn't pick up the first down. He needed to get out of bounds.
Second down 11 after the gain of 14.
Set the clock, and then it'll start going again. Got to be ready if you're Georgia.
Mason will have to run, and Dante Fowler gets him from behind.
I wonder if Georgia's going to have to take a timeout here.
They have 2 left.
They think it's a first down. They forgot about the penalty.
Third and 10.
If they don't pick this up, they probably, if it's this long, 4th and 10, they may have to think field goal.
Delay of game. Oh, it's motion.
Yeah, John Theus.
John Theus, yep.
False start. 71 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You know, when the previous play passed the down marker, I thought the Georgia staff thought it was a first down. They were signaling first down on the sideline. They thought the clock was going to stop, but it was 3rd and 10. I could be wrong. I don't know what he was thinking exactly. If he did, I thought it should have been a timeout.
3rd and 15 now. Down the middle. Got
beautiful.
Michael Bennett. That is a first down.
Sure is. Brian Poole in coverage. Great throw. And Bennett, remember the guy who had the 4th down catch from Aaron Murray when they crawled back in that game at the end of the half, comes up with another one.
Here's Mason, right side. It's caught, and the tackle made on Bennett by Marcus May, number 20, 2nd and goal.
For Florida, a completion with the clock running is big.
Well, the clock now at 5:48.
That 2-point play, not making that 2-point play, is huge in this football game.
2nd and goal. Mason.
Great defense.
Vernon Hargreaves.
Vernon Hargreaves does it exactly right. He doesn't grab him. A lot of players will take that left hand and grab him. Watch how much confidence he has to reach out, keep the left hand free, and trust his abilities.
One of the best in the country. 3rd and goal.
You still holding your ball, Vern?
I am. Yes.
Mark Richt is out on the field.
Time has been called while they unravel this.
Mason got back on it. As soon as Mark Richt saw the fumble, he was almost running out there to call timeout because he knew he had to stop the clock for a 4th down play, and I can't believe Mason got that ball back.
No.
Look at Mark Richt.
Well, time is unraveling. Doubleheader tomorrow on CBS, the NFL games. League game early, San Diego at Miami. The Bird and the Beard will be there. Denver at New England. Jim, Phil, Tracy complete the doubleheader. All of that tomorrow, the NFL on CBS.
Every time I see San Diego, Miami, I think of Fouts playing in that game right after the Ice Bowl. Remember that one? Foutsy playing down there?
Yeah.
Kellen Winslow late. Well, let's talk about this game. I don't think Georgia, obviously they can't kick a field goal. They just got to go for it.
Sure.
Spin it. They just got to go for it.
4th and goal. Play action. Mason goes deep in the end zone.
Nope.
No.
What a defensive play.
Marcus May. The ball intended for Bennett.
Executed very well by Georgia, but better by Florida. Marcus May, he didn't interfere, but he ripped that ball, stayed on his man, reacted, and stayed with it and pried it loose. Very close again. John Bible is going, I'm too old for this.
He stopped by to say hello about an hour before the game. He said, last when I worked, I had 4 replays that I had to rule on.
DJ Durkin's going, my guys got it. I'm sure it does not look like they're going to review that last play. Once the ball snapped, it's over. I I tell you, one thing you're doing, if you're telling, you almost might want to call it Michael Bennett.
Timeout called, by the way, by Georgia.
Hands in there. He's got it. He's got it. And it comes out.
So the Bulldogs are out of timeouts. Florida's got the ball. Still some time remaining. Not a lot. If you're Will Muschamp, a long 5 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this one. Next week, our group is going to hit for Baton Rouge. The first time we've seen LSU this year. It'll be a primetime game. The Crimson Tide against LSU. Nick Saban, Les Miles. Lots at stake, a lot to talk about next Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern.
The one thing I'd be telling Treon Harris, if it's not a good snap, just take the safety. We cannot give him a touchdown. Make sure the handoff.
And he does, and Jones goes right out to the 9-yard line. Corey Moore made the tackle. And the clock is now going to be under 5 minutes. How about that? 1977 against Utah. Only 6 today. Treon Harris, 3 of 6. It's 3rd and 3. Broke a tackle, did Matt Jones.
And then stays in bounds. You got it. He's a big man. Matt Jones is what? Almost over 180 yards rushing in this game. Runs through a tackle and keeps from going out of bounds. Smart play, tough play, athletic play.
1st and 10. 4 minutes remaining.
We're going to take at least 2 more minutes off the clock, even if they don't make a first down.
Tackle is made by Josh Dawson, number 91.
Remember, you get 40 seconds in between each down, so there's 340 seconds. It's 120 seconds. 2 minutes. Jeff Driscoll, things just didn't go right for him. You know what? I gotta believe, though, there may be another chance. You have to be ready. One more chance. Your teammates are counting on you to be ready if something happens to that man in the future.
Driscoll, as we mentioned, broken ankle, game 3, late September against Tennessee last year. On 2nd and 11, Jones. 1st down. And the athletic director of Florida on the sidelines, Jeremy Foley.
You know, there were a lot of people, a lot of so-called experts that thought Jeremy Foley 2 weeks ago after the last game was going to pull the plug on this thing. He said, nope, we have a way to do it. We're going to do it at the end of the season, and I'm going to let my guy coach at least 1 more game.
Yep. 1st down and 10. Here's Kelvin Taylor going right. Still going. He will score.
Put him over 400 yards rushing.
Gosh almighty. I find it quite a paradox when your athletic director is skipping down the sidelines and your coach knows it ain't over yet. Well, that is the season and what's at stake.
Right. Well, Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not taking anything away from Georgia. They are what they are. But that man has never won this football game. He's always been on the losing side. He played at Georgia. He's coached here. And he's an O until today.
Yep.
You know, Georgia has all their people up. It's almost a short yardage running situation. When you bust the line of scrimmage, there's no safeties back there. It's an all-out gamble for the Georgia defense. Once he turned the corner, it was a touchdown.
Jeremy Foley. That away. Well, the stands on the near side almost empty. They were filled with red and black from Georgia. A few empty seats on the far side. Will Muschamp. Will and his wife Carol have two sons, Whit and Jackson. He said one of the tough parts of the last couple of weeks, especially in the aftermath of that terrible loss at home to Missouri, when the crowd, those who were still left, were hollering, "Fire Muschamp, fire Muschamp," was explaining to his 9-year-old son why the crowd was hiring Fire Muschamp.
But you know what I liked about Will Verne is he understands it.
Yep.
He understands it's a results business. He didn't have any problem. You know, he believes in himself, obviously. I actually talked to Will about as we look at his schedule, and these are winnable games. Well, maybe not the Florida State game that they're going to end up with.
Right.
But in the SEC, Florida will be favored when they play at Vandy. They play at Vandy. I think it's at Vandy.
It is.
Okay. And then they come home to South Carolina. So they can win the next 3 games. I mean, South Carolina, obviously, they'll push over. But these are games that they should be able to compete in. And if they win those games, who knows what's going to happen to Georgia? They got a tough schedule.
Out of the backfield, dropped by Douglas. Stay tuned for the Dodge postgame show on CBS Sports.
You know, Vern, ironically, there's only one player that is active on Georgia's roster that was active the last time Georgia lost. Hudson Mason was the backup quarterback the last time. Everyone else on this football team, I think a couple were redshirted, but no one else has ever lost to Florida.
Here's Mason. Got him. That's Bennett again. Marcus May missed defending the play, and Coach Boom is back.
And you know what he said? Wrap them up. We don't need those hits, those, you know, highlight hits that look good. But all the coaches are really telling their players now, wrap up. We don't need the big collision hits.
Deep right side, good coverage by Hargraves. It's tipped and incomplete.
It was actually perfect coverage. Of course, Hargraves is probably anticipated. I don't want the deep ball. He's in perfect position. Malcolm Mitchell has no chance to catch that ball.
Jabari Gorman came over just in case. 2nd and 10 with 1:41 to go.
And the other thing for Will is he doesn't want a targeting call against one of his DBs. He's telling him, wrap them up. You know, on the other sideline for Georgia, they got their work cut out for them the rest of the season.
Kenneth Towns, number 9 on the field, makes his catch.
They have the tiebreaker against Missouri.
Right.
Okay. But they're going to have to beat Auburn. You know, that's not going to be a tough chore. They get them at home, though.
They go to Kentucky next week. Mason caught and dropped. Darius Cummings, number 55. And so, with Florida's win today, Missouri 3-1 in conference play. Georgia drops to 4-2. Florida goes even.
Right, Florida has to win out. If they finish 5-3, they hope that Georgia loses to Auburn to be 5-3. They win that tiebreaker, and then it's all up to Missouri.
Mason. Caught. Conley gets out of bounds. Stopping the clock with 44 seconds to go.
Here's the thing about Florida. One doubts that Treon Harris and Florida will be able to win out throwing 5 or 6 passes a game.
Yeah.
And they're going to need more than that.
Updating that Missouri score, they're winning with 3.5 to go. 28-10. Here is the catch made by Jordan Davis. I knew it all along. First and 10. Will Muschamp graduated from Georgia. He, as we said, born in Rome, Georgia. Lost his dad, Larry, during the time between last season and this. They lived in Gainesville for a long time. Here's Bennett. That pass is incomplete. Will played 91, 92, 93, and 94 as a Bulldog safety. They never beat Florida. He's lost his first 3 as a head coach to Georgia, his alma mater.
He may get a ride from his players after this game.
Second and goal. Catch is made. They try to rip it out. It's Malcolm Mitchell. Clock with 20 seconds to go. Douglas. 4 seconds on the clock. Touchdown. Go ahead, Gary.
No, your call, Vern. It was Brendan Douglas. It was a nice drive by Georgia. Hudson Mason got out of the pocket a couple times, broke it down, and he wanted that last stop right there.
Marshall Morgan for the extra point.
I think he shouldn't be too greedy.
No, I don't either. Oh. 3 seconds to go. It's an 18-point Florida lead. Well, Will Muschamp allowing himself a little emotion now.
Yeah, I think he has it. And how the irony of Will Muschamp, who, engineers this defense, of course, with DJ Durkin as defensive coordinator, against Missouri. He holds that Missouri offense. Today his defense holds Georgia to 460, and they win going away.
38-20. Morgan. Squib kicks. Well, the clock never started. Hunter Joyer recovering it, and a little unnecessary verbiage breaking out.
Well, as loud as the crowd got at the fourth quarter of that Missouri game, it was just as loud for a week. Now, Will's in his bunker mentality, as he talked about getting ready for the game. But believe me, the talk shows and everybody else did nothing but talk about that Florida needed to make a change. And Jeremy Foley hung with them for at least one more week and got dividends in this victory. He's a great guy, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Will, he really is. He's just delightful to talk to. He's all football.
At last, for Will Muschamp. Steve McLean to his right, our left, longtime sports information director. Will Muschamp.
It's almost like Will has tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Let's go down to Allie LaForce with Will Muschamp.
Coach, this is your first ever win in the Florida-Georgia rivalry as a player or as a coach. Is it everything you thought it would be?
Well, it feels pretty good right now. I don't think they're going to vote me in the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame or anything, but I'm really proud of this football team. We hadn't played very well the last time out. It was an embarrassing defeat at the University of Florida. These guys rallied each other, and I'm so proud of the way they've come together and supported each other. Really happy for the Gator Nation and our fans to be able to sit and enjoy this tonight.
Coach, your defense stopped the run. Your backfield ran all over Georgia. What did that tell you about how your team can step up in such a high-pressure game like this?
I felt like we'd be able to run the ball. We just need to stay patient with it. Really proud of Treon Harris and the way he came in and conducted himself under some very tough circumstances. But we could have done some different things in the throwing game, but heck, the run game was working, so we stayed with it. Kurt Roper did an outstanding job.
And lastly, Coach, how important is this win for your future with the program?
We ain't worried about that. This is Florida, Georgia. It's a big win for the program.
Congratulations on your first one.
All right.
Allie, thank you.
Treon Harris said, I never thought it'd be this easy winning a game in the SEC.
Well, Mark Richt and his younger son, Zach.
Yeah, he understands there's good days and bad days as a coach.
And let's go back to Allie LaForce with a couple of pretty fair country running backs.
I'd say they did pretty well. We'll start with you, Kelvin. You rushed for the most yards in your entire career. Your team was running all over the field today. What got into the backfield?
Oh, man. My offensive linemen, those guys did a great job. I can't thank those guys enough, man. And I just want to thank God and our coaching staff just for trusting me and Matt Jones to go out there, and we proved that me and Matt Jones some great running backs.
You guys really did great tonight. Matt, this team rushed for more yards than the last 3 games against Georgia combined. Did part of that have to do with the conversation leading up this game, the pressure on Coach, and if he'll keep his job here? Did you want to play harder for him?
It definitely was. I wanted to play harder for him and his team, and definitely my O-line. We had a chip on our shoulder, let them know that they beat us 3 times in a row. We already had a full head of steam, and we did what we had to do tonight.
Are you glad you finally restored the Florida-Georgia rivalry back to where it should be? Congratulations. Have fun.
Yes, that was Will Muschamp.
Yeah, photo bomb from Will Muschamp. Just think about this as you look at the replay of Will photobombing Ali for the second week in a row. The longest rushing play in 3 years was 20 yards by Troy Murphy at quarterback. Previously, a running back, 17 yards. In this game, 2 running backs plus 190.
And one of those running backs was Matt Jones. And it's time for the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. I bet if you've been with us all afternoon, you remember this one. Perfect blocking by the offensive line. And downfield, DeMarcus Robinson. Not 1, 2 blocks. And Jones dives in for a touchdown. And for a second look at the same play, Mick Huber of the Florida Radio Network.
Clay Burton is a wing to the left. Snap to Harris, hands it off to Jones. Jones through the middle, has a run to the 40, pops to the outside 35. Matt Jones at 30, down the sideline 20, to 15, to 10, to 5, and he is gone to the goal line. He's in! He's in! Touchdown, Matt Jones! Oh, my!
I never get tired of hearing him. All right, Gary. One final thought.
I think I'm going to state the obvious. There's a lot more better teams in the West than there are in the East. These are 2 teams that are not vintage Georgia or Florida teams.
Well, this one went Florida's way after the fake field goal tied it up at 7. Big day for Will Muschamp, Michael McNeely. Notre Dame Navy tonight for Gary Danielson and Allie LaForce. Vern Lundquist saying so long from Jacksonville. Final score, Florida wins it 38-20. The Dodge postgame show is up next after these messages. and a word from your local station.